Evening, everybody. Everyone's gone to bed here in Westgate. It's midnight on Saturday, the 15th of April. It's exactly 2 weeks since all of the athletes, their families and supporters descended on Margate for the first of the Pure Elite Amateur Pro Championship events. For me, 1st of April was a life-changing experience. It's been overwhelmingly positive, and I've had an incredible time getting to stage and in the 2 weeks since. But I thought I would share some things that I've learned over the last 2 weeks to help other athletes prepping for competition and those who may have competed with other federations who are sort of now wondering what to do next. The first things that have happened since have been incredibly overwhelming. As you know, I won I became the UK Body Transformation Champion on the 1st of April, and since then I've had the opportunity to share my story with a huge audience, both locally, regionally, and very shortly nationally. I've appeared in two local newspapers, the West Somerset Free Press and the Somerset County Gazette, where although the stories aren't 100% accurate, the sort of gist of my transformation has been communicated, and as a result I've been inundated with literally I think 500 or 600 messages from local people wanting to know how I did it, what the highs and the lows were, and in fact invitations to come and talk at a number of events in the local area, from the Women's Institute to a couple of local Weight Watchers events, and even some meetings in some local gyms and community groups, which is overwhelming. Of course I'll be accepting them and trying to manage them as best I can. I also did a broadcast interview with BBC Radio Somerset, which was broadcast this week. There were two different edits, one that went out in the breakfast show and one in the morning show, which had a Coldplay backing track to it, which was absolutely awesome and incredibly motivational. And as a result of that broadcast being available on BBC Radio iPlayer, a huge number of people have listened to those broadcasts and also watched the Twitter story that was produced as well. And again, I've been inundated with numerous messages via BBC Somerset inviting me to various events to talk about my transformation story. So the one incredibly positive thing that will have come from this event and my participation in it is I have the chance to be able to inspire others and to help motivate others as part of their transformative journeys, and that is incredibly humbling, and also a privilege that I'm going to make sure I do my best to deliver on, really. On the 27th of April, the BBC are returning to Somerset to make a short documentary with me, my coach Tim Renshaw, and hopefully Tim Chase will also be coming down to take part in that as well, which will be awesome. Be an opportunity to really inspire a huge audience into making positive changes to their health, their lifestyle, and hopefully embracing a lifestyle that allows as much health and fitness, or positive elements of health and fitness, to be a part of their lives. Some of the other things that I've learned are that I am far too eager to compete. I haven't taken anywhere near enough time out for my brain and my body to recover. For those of us who compete, we know the stresses that we place our minds and bodies under in prepping for competition. For those that don't, you probably won't understand it. You probably just think we throw a few weights around and starve ourselves of food, and of course that's not true. My coach wanted me to take the entire first week after competition off, but me being me, sort of said no to that and asked him to design a recovery training program for me, which was very lightweight at the gym, very short but very light sessions. With hindsight, that was the wrong thing to do, and I should have not gone to the gym at all that week. The other thing I did was I only took 2 days off of my very strict eating regime, and whilst my coach and I did talk about reverse dieting a lot, I went straight back into my reverse diet 2 days after competition, where I started measuring all the things that I ate again and recording it religiously. And again, that may not have been the best approach either. The one thing that I've learned having returned to a heavy training session this week, almost coming to the end of my my first week back this week, is that psychologically I haven't given my brain enough time to recover from the stresses of competition, and as a result I am lacking motivation and being quite negative about my performance in the gym. When you look at the data, because we measure everything, we have metrics on everything, my performance is actually pretty good when you compare it to pre-competition data, but my brain doesn't think that. My brain thinks I should be lifting more, I should be lifting heavier, I should be lifting longer. But of course my body is still depleted. It's depleted of a number of elements, and it hasn't yet had time to adjust to the reverse diet as we're increasing the calories. Now I shredded on a large number of calories. I was on over 3,500 during my shred with no cardio. And I'm already on 4,500 calories, and I'm still losing about 1 kilo a week in weight. Now we think that that's to do with my thyroid being incredibly overactive. Which we're not going to seek medication for. We're going to try and correct that naturally through just slowly increasing the number of calories and hoping that with a small period of rest, my body and my hormones can rebalance themselves and catch up with where they need to be. But it's taken a phone call with Lucy Fox-Walton today and my coach Tim for me to realise that I do need to take a bit of time out. Now I'm not going to take a week out, I'm going to take 2 or 3 days just to rest, relax, recover, take a bit of me time, take a bit of downtime, and then refocus on prepping myself for the end of October and the Pro World Championships, which I'm going to fight very hard to earn my place on stage for. The one thing I've realised is that I'm too hard on myself, and I need to be a bit more realistic about what's possible over a certain period of time. Now I'm 39 years old, and when I compare myself to other 39-year-olds who have been competing a long time, the one thing that they have that I don't is they have muscle maturity, and as a result they are probably going to look far more defined and be far bigger than I am, just simply because they've been training longer. And whilst I'm aiming to pack on as much muscle as possible over the next 28 weeks from today, the reality is I've not been training for anywhere near the same amount of time as those guys are, and I need to be cognizant of that, and I need to stop setting myself unrealistic targets. Stretch targets, yes. Unrealistic targets are not going to be helpful, particularly at pro level. So whilst I'm going to train to do as best as I can, I have to reflect and realise that Rome wasn't built in a day, and this process of becoming a champion fitness model is going to take a long period of time, and I have to be patient and be prepared to put the work in and keep competing until eventually my place will win, and that may not be this October, and that's fine actually. So it doesn't matter if I take a few days out or even a week. My body and brain need it in order to maintain performance at the highest possible level. So on that note, you'll be pleased to know that I've enjoyed a couple of treat meals this evening, and I'm also enjoying what was a bottle of very gorgeous Australian Chardonnay. The last drop is in this glass. So I very much hope that I've not come across as a bit too drunk, because I'm not. Well, I hope I'm not anyway. I'll find out in the morning when I play this video back through YouTube. But I hope that the one thing that the guys and girls listening to this video have taken is that it's okay to rest. In fact, it's essential that we do. It's taking me a couple of weeks to accept that, but we really, really do. After competing at something as challenging mentally and physically as Pure Elite, we do need to take time out to rest and recover. So that's what I'm going to do. And on that note, as everybody's in bed, including my boyfriend, and it's now 25 past midnight, I best go and join them. Good night.